in that blood-stained home. Two watched it happen, but left them alone. BK's the patsy in their crooked frame job, while Moscow PD fudges facts, bunch of dirty slobs. DM saw a killer 3 feet in the hall, heard whimpers and crying through the thin bedroom wall. But she locked her door tighter as the footsteps passed by, while 4 friends lay dying. Ask yourself why. 8 hours silent, too long, while heartbeats ran cold. See, cold. That's not just trauma, that's a story they sold. 8 hours too late. Why wait? What were they hiding that night? Hiding. 8 hours too late. Conspiracy covered in morning light. Did they scrub the crime scene? Scrub it. Coordinate lines. 8 hours too late. While the FBI framed an innocent man. Why wait for sunrise? Why call friends first? Tell me why. Unconscious person that rehearsed lines the worst. Were they destroying evidence, washing blood down the drain? Insane. Texting the real killer, the cops are a train. ISP altered body cam footage with shame. Shame on you. FBI pressured witnesses to play their game. Play the game. That party house reputation, secrets they'd keep, while Brian's the sacrifice, so the guilty sleep. 8 hours silent, calculated, while alibis set in stone. That's not just shock, that's a debt to be met. 8 hours too late. Why wait? What were they hiding that night? Hiding. 8 hours too late. Conspiracy covered in morning light. Did they scrub the crime scene? Scrub it. Coordinate lies. 8 hours too late. While the FBI framed an innocent man. 3 agencies weaving their tapestry fake, while roommates were buying time for evidence to break. Did the killer pay them off? Were they holding the stash? 8 hours of silence while the blue lights flash.
Blood on their hands, a serpent's breath, 4 shadows left in a house of death. A pack of wolves in a kangaroo court. Truth gets lost in a locked report. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. Frat boys swear on a broken vow. Pi Beta whisper she lied anyhow. They're gonna get you said where the cameras sync. When timelines converge, don't blink. Moscow after midnight, blood on the rail. Every liar's hand on the killer's veil. The truth's a ghost in a phantom crowd. No one's innocent with silence this loud. Crossing home. The Orient's knife, the driver's call. Grub truck Mac for the students' fall. They fed pain a name, they fed him a lie.
Good evening, my beautiful crime family, and good morning to some. Yeah, wherever you're living. Um, been a lot of questions lately of what's going to happen. I do believe today's the last day for Mr. Kohlberger to file um, for an appeal, which I haven't heard that he has. So uh, that's kind of what I expected. But is there other plans? I'm hearing rumors, people. I'm hearing rumors. And they're kind of good rumors. They're kind of good rumors. Yeah, we'll talk about that and some other stuff that I've looked at lately. Um, Hi, Cindy. There's certain things I'm hearing. Some good rumors out there going around. Let me say hi to my beautiful crime family. Cindy, my girl, good to see you. Joey, good to see you. James Moen, good to see you. The musical Shrubs, good to see you. Love Tina, my girl, good to see you. Elizabeth, good to see you. Sherry Irvin, good to see you. I'll keep going up. Bianca, my girl, good to see you. Ooh, I think I'm gonna play your song tonight. I did go and got get Randy's email and all that, so he'll be happy if he comes in tonight. Jackie Bushaville, good to see you. Leo, good to see you. And Mark and Betty, always good to see you. Yeah, from the crest, the pond in the morning time. And vibrations from here, good to see you. Carol, good to see you. Coral, good to see you. Yeah. And to everybody out there, if I missed Miss Macy, good to see you. Jane Kendall, good to see you. And to everybody, it's always good to see you out chatting and stuff. And to the non-chatters, hello and welcome to Once Upon a Crime Time. And I'm your host, Tommy Truth. And let's get into it a little bit. So there is rumors. There is rumors going around. And there are pretty good rumors coming from some pretty good sources that the Innocence Project is going to pick up Mr. Kohlberger's case. So that's good news if it's totally true. I haven't verified that, but the rumors are coming from pretty good places. So I have a feeling this has been their thing all along. I think Ann Taylor knew about it. Ann Taylor was done. She was beat to shit. You've seen it in her body language. She tried everything, and we're gonna go over that. Everything was fucking shut down. There wasn't one avenue for her defense. How can a judge take away, think about this, take away every avenue of defense? Isn't that's what the fucking jury is for? To decide, is it true or not true? It's up to the fucking jury, people. They should have been allowed to hear testimony of other perpetrators and what was going on behind the fucking scenes in the fraternities and in the drug area. Period. And I wouldn't doubt if there's a full investigation into how Schindler. Thank you, WB. Schindler. Schindler's List. I wouldn't doubt if there was going to be an investigation in how he treated this case. I wouldn't doubt that one bit. I know Schindler's List. WB said that the other night. I just fucking cracked up, man. And somebody wanted t-shirts, Schindler's List, redact this. Or deny this. Anyway, I know vibrations, and that's crazy too. I mean, if there's any case in that state that would be a death penalty case, that's the case. But you know what? Maybe they offered a plea deal because they know it's not the right person. Anybody ever think of that? Anybody ever think of that? That maybe they offered that plea deal because they're leaving that death penalty for other people? That's an interesting thought, too. But let's get into some of this stuff. What is it I wanted to show first here? This is pretty good. This is from 3 days ago. I'm not even sure. Maybe I shared this one already. I don't remember deleting it. It's the only thing. Yeah. Well, and then there's stuff that people have forgot about. I am going to run part of this here. Yeah, I think I'll run part of it. Okay. And this is from Idaho 4 Revealed. And descriptions in the link is in the descriptions. And they're one of my favorites, Idaho 4 Revealed. I really like their style and the way they put things together. Oh, thank you, James. Oh, thank you, Miss Macy. Okay, so let's take a look at this Idaho 4 Revealed. And again, this is one of my favorite creators. And this is called The Dylan DoorDash Driver Connection. There's some very interesting things in this video. It's about 18 minutes long. So let's take a peek.
Wake from your sleep, drying of your tears today. We escape, we escape. Pack and get dressed before your father hears us, before all hell breaks loose. Your name. Breathe, keep breathing. Can't do this alone.
On November 23rd, 2022, at around 8:30 in the evening, the person who we are told was the King Road DoorDash driver, Molly McMichael, entered the Moscow police station to be interviewed by Corporal Brett Payne about her presence in the King Road area around the time of the murders. She was identified as being in the area through records obtained from DoorDash via a search warrant and was confirmed as being in the area based off a Google geofence.
Okay, this I do believe is not the long one. The long one I think you're referring to is called Borg, which is another really great video. Like I said, this is one of my favorite creators. And again, the link is in the description, and I'm sure the mods are. Debbie just got it right there already. She's fast. Thank you, Debbie Gazzardo. Good to see you, my girl. So yeah, Borg is the one I think you're speaking of. Anyway, keep going here.
Warrant, which likely stemmed from a local cell tower dump, was performed in days after the murders. This is what we now know from her interview with Corporal Payne. Molly told police that she had been working a long shift as a DoorDash delivery driver from Saturday night into Sunday morning, the 12th into the 13th. The delivery to 1122 King Road was her final delivery. Molly claimed that she had some trouble finding the address because the front light made the house number difficult to see. So this is what she does. She told Corporal Payne that after she initially parked in the front of the King Road residence, she then drove to the back parking area immediately behind the residence, according to Google Map instructions. She told Payne that her map told her to walk into the back of the house, but she didn't feel comfortable with there not being any path. So she walked down the street that runs between the residence and the Queen Road apartments. She said that the entire time to make delivery was 15 minutes before she left. We're going to first play a clip from the entire video, which you will be able to view in its entirety by visiting the URL provided. Info will be included below. Let's first play the clip showing who we believe to be Molly the DoorDash driver.
I want you to keep an eye, watch this video, because there is a lot to this. Watch the times. Watch the times. Scrolls. The time is right here. Okay, so she's right there almost to the house. Look at the time. 3:46:19, whatever 28. Watch reflections of taillights moving in the car on 1119 King House straight ahead as Molly DD stops in front of 1122 King. And there is action in this house also. Someone keeps peeking out this window. You can see this shit going on. Okay, now there's the light, and she's stopping in front of the house. Those brake lights, remember, are very bright. And with this. Again, the time is right there. Yeah, so here you have 3:46:35. She is dropping some people. I mean, we're not stupid, right? We're not stupid. A minute later, there's like lots of commotion being picked up. Now, how the police, during their interview, didn't ask her about this commotion that was going on, I'll never know. Because she dropped somebody off in front of the house. I guarantee it. And then she picked them up in the back when there was 3 people outside the car. That was reported by Rosie and Tisdale. And why have they kind of disappeared? I think it's because they know that it wasn't Kohlberger, and they're trying to keep them hidden from the public and from being interviewed by anybody, including Ann Taylor at trial. And here we go. We have commotion starting. You can hear shit going on. Listen to that shit, people. Listen to that shit. And you know what? I think they're singing, there's some people singing there mocking Ethan. Now remember, this is after she stopped in front of the fucking house. Now, this here, when Molly walks, if you remember, she walks, right? And she's walking by, and her phone activity starts then. Who is she waiting for? Is she waiting for that Ford Explorer people? Did she set them up? Was she called to help Mr. Gage Forsberg and Mr. Jonah Chapin and Miss Eva Wilson? Was she called to help subdue these people till they got there? Because I do believe around 3:50 that black truck is sitting in front of 1122 for almost 20 fucking minutes. Actually, it was a little later than that with the forged green Ford Explorer. It was a little later than 3:50. Let's see if I can get this a little faster. Yeah, and I'll check that out right here. So, DM Dylan creates a new contact at her phone at 3:51:03. Dylan does not seem asleep during any hour on Sunday morning and is awake at 3:50 a.m. entering a new contact on her phone. Isn't that interesting with the timing of things? Same exact time. There we go. They're always going by slow up here. So after all this shit and after all that commotion, and she picks those three up in back of the house, then she comes this way and exits. And that's kind of the end. She just ends up with the movie thing. But that I played that because of the timing of it, and the three people in the back at Rosedale and at Rosedale or whatever in Tisdale reported seeing that she testified or made a statement that she was alone with her dog. Okay. Then who were the three people standing by your fucking car in the back? And who was that forged green SUV parked in the front? Well, that's the one thing, and I've showed it. I've showed you the SUV, and that's never been reported to anybody. It's not on any reports that SUV was parked there for almost 20 minutes. It's just like they went in there and got out of there and even came back around and left. Pretty fucking crazy, people. Pretty fucking crazy. How can someone lie to a police officer that they were alone with their fucking dog and not get charged with perjury lying to a police officer? There's been many lies in this case. Think about it. There's been many lies and proven lies that people have testified, made statements to saying something totally different than what we're seeing on the videos now released, the videos and connecting them to their fucking statements, and they're not correct. They're not fucking correct. They're lying. They're lying, and you can see it. I mean, it's on video, people. It's on fucking video. How can people get away with this shit? I know one thing. If I lied to a police officer and made a statement, I'd be arrested. I know that for a fact. Yet they've done nothing. They've done nothing because they've had one thing in their mind, and that's nail Kohlberger for this. So why are they so set on Kohlberger? And I can tell you the reason why. Because it's keeping people away from the real perpetrators. That's why. And the people that helped might even be a bigger thing. The people that helped. Because allegedly, right? Allegedly, Gage Forsberg and Jonah Chapman were in town, and we seen them with a cartel man right behind Kaylee and Maddie at the grub shop. Quite a coincidence, don't you think? Quite a coincidence. Then you hear of the back, missing. There's more coming out on this shit. There's more coming out on this shit, people. Trust me on that one. Let's get on to some other things. Let me see here. This was pretty good too. Yes. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to show this next. And if anybody remembers Seagirl? Anybody remember Seagirl? She's the one that came up with those tunnels. Not really tunnels, but they're underneath. By Linda Lane there, they're underneath where you can't see them. So they're like tunnels. They're like tunnels. They're not tunnels, but they're like tunnels. But anyway, I got something to share from her. And key witness says Brian Kohlberger not physical capable of Idaho for crimes. Wait a minute, I missed that. There we go.
His own professor knew that he was too weak to do that. Bombshell. Brian Kohlberger's former professor, the one he was a TA for, admitted to people at the bar he goes to that Brian Kohlberger was too weak, not that strong or confident to commit this crime. Yes, folks. Even his own professor knew that he was too weak to do this crime. But remember, we were told in the beginning the girls were all asleep. All the victims were asleep, and that's why it was so easy.
That's
But all
wrong.
the new reports that came out and the crime scene
Exactly.
photos that we've seen, we now know that's not true. We know they were all awake, and therefore there was a struggle, especially in Xana's room. So this is very important. Check this out, because the guy who was friends with his professor that he would go drinking with actually admits this. Yes. So we have actual evidence that Brian Koberger is not a strong individual, and he's physically not capable of these crimes.
You never would have suspected anything. Koberger was not at all covering up that he was at least a very unpleasant person. Though John always assumed he was harmless just because he seemed kind of physically weak and wimpy and not very self-confident. And then, of course, I guess you don't have to be that strong to try to murder sleeping people. Anyway, he seemed kind of physically weak and wimpy and not very self-confident. And then, of course, I guess you don't have to be that strong to try to murder sleeping people.
But they weren't asleep. They weren't asleep. But I do have a theory about Ethan, which is slightly different. Oh, he was attacked at Linda Lane. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I've heard it with my ears. I've seen it with my eyes. Whatever. In the reflections, I seen it. I heard it. But I don't think he was taken out there. I think he was beat really bad. And maybe a couple STAB wounds and brought back to the house. And I think Xana thought that she could help him and was helping him and was crying because Ethan was hurt. That, don't worry, I'm here to help you. I don't think that. I think that was directed at Dylan. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. And I think she knows that too. That's what I think. Anyway, going to get on to what I think about this gentleman whom I showed in my last video. But I showed him on Tom Henner's program, which a lot of you don't like him too much. He kind of jumps from one day he's a guilter and the next day he's not. He's got a good channel. I'm not saying he doesn't have a good channel. It's just, I read the comments and I read the chats and I'm, as much as I can. And there's a lot of people that don't like that channel that well. But the dude that was on there, a lot of people were asking, well, who is that? Who is that? Well, he is a DNA expert from Idaho that testified in the Daybell case, for one. And let's just take a peek and see something. You see that? Isn't that nice that there's no delays or anything? God, I want to thank all of you that helped me to help me get this computer, man. And yes, all of mine did finally come in, and I'm sending the rest out here tomorrow. So happy about that. It's I'm still getting used to it, and there's still a lot of things I'm figuring out. But yeah, it's so much better. But anyway, let's get to this testimony. And this is from Full Testimony. And this is from East Idaho News or whatever. Yep, East Idaho News. Full Testimony. DNA expert Dr. Greg Hamakian, or I don't know if this is pronounced right. I'm pronouncing that right. Wait, did I share this on here yet? Yeah. Okay, so this dude, that's the dude you see on the Tom Henner show, testifies in the Chad Daybile trial. Let's just listen to what he has to say, a little bit of this.
Dr. Hampinkian, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
this is him right here.
Full disclosure, we do know each other, don't we?
From this case, yes.
Okay. And how would you prefer, for purposes of this hearing, that I address you as either your first name, or was Dr. Hampinkian what you would prefer?
Probably, given the formality, Dr. Hampinkian's what I'm used to.
So, Dr. Hampinkian, can you briefly explain to me your occupation?
I'm a professor at Boise State University. I have a laboratory there. We work on a lot of DNA projects, forensics, viruses.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Cancer, and I have a joint appointment. So I'm in the biology department, but I have a joint appointment in criminal justice so that I can take on some of their students for projects, occasionally lecture over there. And then I'm an adjunct lecturer at the University of Idaho College of Law. And then I also consult on.
Okay, did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's one of Brian's lecturers. Did you hear that? I mean, if he's doing it for Idaho, I'm sure he's doing it in Washington, right?
Your occupation?
Very
I'm
possible.
A professor at Boise State University. I have a laboratory there. We work on a lot of DNA projects, forensics, viruses, cancer, and I have a joint appointment. So I'm in the biology department, but I have a joint appointment in criminal justice so that I can take on some of their students for projects, occasionally lecture over there. And then I'm an adjunct lecturer at the University of Idaho College of Law. And then I also consult on cases like this, which are private cases. And I head up something called the Forensic Justice Project that deals with testing DNA in cases where people write in and say they're innocent, they've been convicted wrongfully.
And in that regard, with your forensics project, is that a
Let's listen to this again, folks. Do you hear what else he does?
nationally renowned project or organization?
Also consult on cases like this, which are private cases. And I head up something called the Forensic Justice Project that deals with testing DNA in cases where people write in and say they're innocent, they've been convicted wrongfully.
And in that regard, with your forensics project, is that a nationally renowned project or organization?
It's funded nationally. We work right now in, I think, a dozen states, and we have a grant from the Department of Justice. They don't endorse anything I say. I always have to say that about my funding agencies. To work in 5 states in particular, doing DNA reviews of cases.
Okay, and there's no particular distinction. You will do work for defense work and you will do work for prosecution work. Is that fair?
Sure, yes.
And have you testified previously in cases regarding DNA analysis?
Yes, dozens of times, yeah.
Okay. Okay. And can you briefly explain to me your educational background?
I have a PhD in genetics, a bachelor's in biology, a master's in genetics, all from the University of Connecticut in Storrs. I've had postdoctoral training after that on a National Science Foundation grant in Australia, working on the Y chromosome, the male chromosome, and then more postdoctoral training in Massachusetts in developmental biology, and a lot of professional development around forensics. And that's mostly done through the American Academy of Forensic Sciences or some of our annual meetings.
Is there any special accreditation or academic achievements that are recognized as part of your time doing DNA analysis?
The most important things are our publications. That's what we're judged by. So these are sent out for peer review. If 2 of the 3 editors think it's good, we might have to fix a few things and then it gets published. But I consider that the most important thing. And then we have certifications to put DNA in certain databases. There's a Y chromosome database. Of course, I have tenure at the university, which is another hoop. So there's lots of hoops we had to go through.
And this is not, this is Boise, Idaho that we're in, but you're an international,
This guy can't speak.
you're sought after in an international capacity. Would that be fair?
I don't know.
Objection
Thought
argumented.
after.
It's bolstering the
Hold on.
witness.
All right, first of all, can't all be talking at the same time to keep a clear record when there's an.
The main thing here is that he helps people that write in and say they're innocent. They take a look at the DNA evidence. Now, this is the same guy yesterday or Monday I showed you that said that he had a problem with the Idaho case and the prosecution and the DNA. I have a feeling, people, that some of these rumors that we're hearing might be involving this gentleman right here. Yes, Mrs. Knapp. And I have a feeling that what I'm hearing is true, that the Innocence Project is picking up Brian Kohlberger's case. That's my opinion. It's, like I said, I have not verified what I'm hearing, but I'm hearing it from multiple sources that are pretty good sources. Brian is not a dummy. And if you see, I can't remember who put that video out. I should have looked for it before I did this show. But there's a video out there where it talks about the books that are in his apartment. And they're all books that would be studying this stuff that goes along with what he was taking up, which is really crazy because everything he was talking about now is going against him. And I think, when you're banging on the door and you can't get in, you give up. You give up. You don't break, unless you can find a way to leave, come back, and break in. And that might be, and I'm using that as an analogy, what happens here is that they're going to come in and they're going to break these fucking doors down with this bullshit DNA stuff. And I think they're going to be looking at Mr. Hippler also. And we're going to look at some things. Let me show you. Now this was made up by one of our chatters, okay? This was made up by one of our chatters, and I thought it was a pretty good job, so I'm going to show it. Where am I at? Okay. Right here. Did I do it on there? Let me see. No, I didn't. Okay, here we go. Boom. So here we are. This is a judicial bias timeline by Judge Stephen Hippler's rulings in the state of Idaho versus Brian Kohlberger, prepared by Independent Forensic Analysis. Purpose: to document and analyze procedural decisions by Judge Stephen Hippler that may reflect judicial bias against Brian Kohlberger and his defense counsel, particularly in the suppression of alternate suspect theories, psychological context, and eyewitness testimony. Okay, so let's take a look at some of this. Number one, okay. Number one, denial of alternative perpetrator testimony. The defense motion, Kohlberger's team sought to introduce testimony suggesting 3 individuals entered the house and committed the red rooms. That's what they wanted to do. Ruling denied. Judge Hippler claimed the theory lacked sufficient corroboration and could confuse the jury. What the fuck? What the fuck? I've never in my life, which is many years, and many court cases, also looking at them and being involved in some, I've never seen something like this. That is up to a fucking jury to decide, not Mr. Judge Hippler. Let's go on. This was the defense's only direct attempt to present an alternative suspect theory. Its rejection narrowed the scope of the trial and reinforced the prosecution's narrative. That is fact. Number 2, exclusion of autism spectrum testimony. Defense motion, request to present expert testimony on Kohlberger's autism diagnosis to explain behavioral traits and courtroom demeanor. Ruling denied. Judge Hippler deemed it irrelevant and potentially distracting. Potentially distracting. Like I said, I've never seen anything like this. Up here could confuse the jury. Here, potentially distracting. The ruling stripped the defense of the impact of this. The ruling stripped the defense of a key explanatory tool and denied the jury psychological context that could have humanized the defendant. Not just that, it would have explained his behavior and why he is the way he is.
but yet denied because it could be potentially distracting. 3, lifting of non-dissemination order. I can't even talk tonight. Defense possession opposed lifting the gag order, citing safety concerns and risk of prejudicial media coverage. And this, people, oh my God. This is normal. This is normal what Ann Taylor was doing here. This is normal. Ruling. No. Granted the media petition to lift the order, Judge Hipper dismissed his defense concerns, stating public interest outweighed the privacy. I'm confused. Because the things that the prosecution wanted gagged, he gagged. But when she wanted a little help about this prejudicial media coverage, no. Everything. Undermining the defense protections. The impact of the decision allowed inflammatory public commentary days before sentencing, potentially influencing courtroom behavior and undermining defense protections. 4, suppression of DoorDash testimony. Eyewitness, which we know is not true. Which we know she lied. Defense motion sought to introduce her testimony to support alternative suspect theory. So in other words, people, okay, in other words, right there. Right there. With her testimony, okay, the DoorDash driver's testimony sought to introduce her testimony to support alternative suspect theory. So what is that telling me? That's telling me that Ann Taylor is thinking that Molly is involved in some way. She was part of the alternative suspect theory. Okay, back. And the ruling denied. Judge cited credibility concerns due to her DUI arrest. Oh, now you're saying that. But of course, they let out the video of her DUI arrest and her saying that she's seen Culver, which she didn't. She was trying to get out of a fucking DUI. Despite corroboration across 3 officers' impact, the suppression of this testimony removed a rare eyewitness account that contradicted the prosecution's timeline. And again, we have number 5, admission of knife sheath DNA evidence without full hearing. Defense objection, challenged reliability of trace DNA and chain of custody, which we know there was problems with. Ruling admitted without evidentiary hearing. No hearing at all. Judge denied defense request for alternate forensic experts. Judge denied defense request for alternative forensic experts. Impact strengthens prosecution's case again, which he did the whole time, while limiting the defense scrutiny of circumstantial forensic evidence. Number 6, final remarks at sentencing. Judge's statement described Kohlberger's actions as grotesque acts of evil, rejected any notion of remorse or redemption, and dismissed public interest in motive. Impact, the emotionally charged language and moral condemnation suggests personal bias. Exactly. Especially given the judge's refusal to allow psychological testimony or alternative narratives. Summary of pattern. Judge Hippler's rulings reflect a constant pattern of restricting defense evidence and testimony, dismissing psychological and contextual nuance, framing the defendant in absolute moral terms, prioritizing prosecution narrative and media access. These decisions, taken together, may constitute judicial bias and procedural imbalance, undermining the fairness of the trial and limiting the defense's ability to present a full and credible case. Analysis of pattern. The above rulings reflect a consistent judicial posture that favored the prosecution and restricted the defense's ability to present alternative narratives, psychological context, and eyewitness accounts. And Judge Hippler's conduct may constitute judicial bias evidenced by emotionally charged language and repeated denial of defense motions. Procedural imbalance, suppression of exculpatory evidence, and refusal to entertain alternative theories. Ethical concerns, potential failure to uphold impartiality in a capital case with national visibility. Affirmation. I affirm that this affidavit is prepared in good faith based on documented proceedings and verified public records. It is intended to support post-conviction review, legal advocacy, or public inquiry into the fairness of judicial conduct in the case of Brian Kohlberger. Disclaimer, thank you very much, Joe P. Right there. Right there. Thank you very much, Joe. Very well done, Joe P. Very well done. And that really nails it on the head. And I do believe what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that this case is going to be taken up. There's too much. You know what I'm saying? There's too fucking much. There's too much. You can't go and try to sweep something under the fucking rug like this. And I think Mr. Kohlberger, I think he was smart enough to go, I'll just plead guilty. Because I have a better chance going with like the Innocence Project, who I'm hearing is picking up this case. because that'll be a little different if they pick it up. It'll be a little bit different. One thing I know, or I don't know, I should say, is the judge. What was I going to say now? Okay, I lost what I was going to say. But because of the judge alone, someone's going to pick this shit up, because you can't treat people like this and try to sweep something like this under the rug, a quadruple. And I think Brian Koberger is at least smart enough to know this. He's not dumb. And he's not dumb enough to sucker for how he was being treated and how his lawyer was beat to shit by that mofo. You could see it in her body language. She was just done. She knocked on every door, and every fucking door got slammed shut. And it should have been up to the fucking jury to make up their own damn minds. But the judge wouldn't allow that. Wouldn't allow it. And who knows what Anno had? I mean, just look at what we have. And he wouldn't allow it. To me, there should be charges filed against Mr. Schindler's List boy. Because that's what he is. Anyway, I hope that all that comes true. I do want to look at a couple other things here. This was crazy as hell too. Now, did I change this into a... No. Okay. Where is it? There it is. This is crazy too. And I will put that on here. Okay, so we got this. And this is Moscow Police Department law supplement of narrative. Let's read some of this, right? On November 14th, the day after neighborhood canvas, right? Day after. At approximately 1,000 hours, I responded back to 1122 King Road to conduct a neighborhood canvass in the daylight. Chief Fry was with me. We started from the rear of the residence and covered the small hill area just behind 1122 King Road. Right behind the residence, there was a small black bag that had obviously been out there in the weather for some time. It didn't look like it to me. There was nothing in it. We searched. Get used to this right. Let me. Where is this? Get used to this right here. Obviously had been out in the weather for some time. Get used to that line right there. Okay. So there was nothing in it. Let me stop this. We searched up to the parking lot of blank, and why they blank that out, redact that, I'll never know. Queen Road, then worked southwest along the hillside below the parking lot. We searched the fence backyard of blank, Walenta Drive, and continued west above blank King Road. From there, I was joined by Sergeant Gunderson, and we went through the south side of blank King Road, around the back, and then back west between blank King Road and blank King Road. I worked over to Queen Road going north, and then between blank Queen Road and blank King Road. Out to Taylor Avenue, we crossed the pond, we crossed the open play field from Taylor Avenue north to Nez Perce Drive at the crosswalk near blank. We walked the, hold on a second here. North of Nez Perce Drive at the crosswalk near blank. We walked the pathway north to World War I Memorial Grove and stopped at that point. I returned to the intersection of Taylor Avenue and King Road, where I met with Chief Fry again. From that point, we proceeded east along the south side of Taylor Avenue, looking in the shrubbery and around the cars parked along the curb. At the entrance to the parking lot of Taylor Avenue, I located a black vest. Did anybody see a vest? Did anybody see the black vest? I'll tell you what, that's the longest fucking vest I've ever seen in my damn life. You ever seen a vest that goes down past the knees? Exactly, Elizabeth, vest. No, that's the black coat, people. That's the black coat that he's calling a fucking vest. I located a black vest laying on the grass next to the fire hydrant. The vest appeared to be weathered. Okay, here we go again. Weathered. Like it's been out there for a while. It didn't look weathered to me. With leaves and debris on it. It appeared to have been there for several days. I checked the pockets and examined the vest, but did not find anything of note. As we continued to walk east along the south side of Taylor Avenue, I noted a large amount of trash and various items on the grass in the bushes, including various glass and plastic bottles, pipes, and various types, and some articles of clothing such as t-shirt and underwear. That's pretty fucking crazy. Is that where people put shit? Men's and women's, and various papers and litter. All appeared to have been in the area for several days or weeks, and I did not determine any evidentiary value for any items I saw. Didn't see any evidentiary value of anything I saw. I'm speechless. I'm fucking speechless. A vest was not a fucking vest. It was a coat, and it had the same white thing that Maddie's had at the grub truck. Why did he call it a vest? Why did he write it up as a fucking vest? I know one thing. He didn't know he was being videoed. They didn't know that they were being videoed when they threw that fucking back down. I guarantee that. Another thing that they thought they could get away with, calling it a vest, and that it was weathered. I don't know. I looked at that fucking Colt pretty dang well. I'm sorry for all the F-bombs. But this shit kind of just eats at you. Because there's so much of it. There's just so much of it. Then you have this judge acting like, I'm just not going to let them have any defense at all. The case is already fucking closed. He should have just closed the case, called them guilty, and not even had any of this shit going on at all. He should have just said, you're guilty, bam, we're done. It's a bunch of bullshit. Again, I apologize for the F-bombs. I want to make sure I get everything here tonight. Yeah. I'm going to show this because, oops. Okay. And here we go. And this is our Ms. Bianca. Check this out. Did I share it yet? No? Okay, there we go. Here we are. And here's your chat word.
4 lives gone, but the damn screen won't sleep. Drama in the chat, tension runs away. 2 these mods flexing hard, acting like they fucking own it. Banning, muting. 4 lives gone, but the damn screen won't sleep. Drama in the chat, tension runs away. 2 these mods flexing hard, acting like they fucking own it. Banning, muting, but won't even show it. Links to troublemakers they can't fucking provide. Yet they run the chat with ego and pride. Rumors fly, theories clash. Truth buried somewhere in this bullshit backlash. Chat wars, chaos in the fucking night. Who's right, who's wrong? We fight the fight. Muscle power trips, viewers in flames. But justice waits and don't give a shit for games. Typing fast, emojis fucking fly. Half truths, lies, and lame ass alibis. Someone says this, someone says that, while the mods just sit too lazy to act. Everyone's an expert, everyone's got proof. While the chat burns, shit hits the roof. We scroll, we read, we argue, we post. Trying to find the truth in this digital ghost. 4 bright lights, taken too soon. The laughter still echoes like a haunting tune. Gone from this fucked up world, but their spirit stays, guiding us through these lame ass online maze. They were more than names in a chat, more than headlines, more than this crap. We remember, we honor, we keep them alive. In every truth we chase, their memories survive. Chat wars, chaos in the fucking night. Who's right, who's wrong? We fight the fight. Muscle power trips, viewers in flames. But justice waits and don't give a shit for games. Typeboard warriors, masks on screen, playing judge, jury, acting fucking mean. But the victims' voices cut through the din, reminding us where the story begins. Lights drop light, accusations rise. Drama hits hard to fucking compromise. Live chat legends, trolls in disguise, searching for truth, ignoring the lies. So, all remember, grow the fuck up. Stop the bullshit, let justice erupt. Know why we're here, who we fight for. The victims, the lives, we fight for one cause. As Brian sits and waits, the truth don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck.
Awesome fucking job, Bianca. that fucking rocked. And Randy, I hope you liked it. I seen you were in there somewhere. Where the hell are you? I know you're in there. Yeah, there you are. She does excellent lyrics too. Yes. Great job, Bianca. Love that shit. That's fine. I thought it was awesome. So anyway, that's what I got for you tonight. And I'm going to close it out with another new one. And let me see. Let me get rid of that first. There we go. And I love all you guys, my subs. You are my heart, my mods, and everybody. You are my soul. And until next time, I got to find it. Rock and roll.
Thank you.
When I heard this, and Twat messaged me saying they blocked her, they sealed their phone record. I'm going, what the F? Come on. Unbelievable. So what's next? What's next at Mr. Hippler? Hippler, you're a piece of shit, dude. You're a piece of shit. Retire. Retire. You're a piece of shit in my book, man.
You think we both